Hi everyone. Right, so I did a video yesterday, which was about a simple question which goes thus: should a woman reduce intelligence in order to save her marriage? I got lorry loads of comments from that video. Most of the comments came into my, WhatsApp message, not on social media, because of course people want to preserve their identity. So I was a little bit surprised, quite frankly, that that video generated a whole lot of comments that people came forward with. And I just want to share a few with you. Meanwhile, if you've not watched the video, you can check on my all my pages: Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. YouTube has a full video, about 15 minutes or so. You will find it extremely useful. The simple question is this: should a woman reduce her intelligence for her to save her marriage? And it was out off of an audio that someone sent to me the previous time, the previous day, where a woman was saying that if you are too intelligent, you will not last in marriage, that you have to reduce your intelligence in order to keep your home. And I was responding to that. Meanwhile, don't assume you know what my response is until you watch the video, because I won't give you a generic answer like what you hear from everybody else. Anyway, go and watch the video. But I felt compelled to share some of the comments that I received, and I'm going somewhere with this, and I want you to follow me. I just share some of them, and I'll say a few things, because the video sort of exposed me again to the root cause of some of the issues that a lot of people are facing in marriage. So here are a few comments. Of course, most of them from women, as you can imagine. Someone says, "Oh, I always leave your video learning something new. Thank you, sir." Someone says, "A woman should be wise." I found that comment very interesting, because in other words, should a woman reduce her intelligence for her to keep her marriage? And the response was, a woman should be wise. In other words, it's not everything they tell you. That's what that comment means. It's not everything they tell you. You to use your brain sometimes. Anyway, someone says sometimes it's just to keep the peace. Sometimes as a woman, you feel cheated doing so. Right? Someone says, please, where are you? You need to get on a radio show, a call, and all of that, and things like that. Some person said, the things you share, this space is too small for the kind of information that you share, and I really appreciate that. Right? Someone says this question is tricky to respond to. That was the person's response. It's tricky. The person found it confusing. Someone said, thank you, sir. Many funny, but what funny, the lady spoke the truth. That's what someone said. That the lady actually spoke the truth, that the woman must reduce her intelligence if she wants to keep her marriage. Anyway, someone says, Nigerian men here want that. Or in other words, the person is actually abroad. That the person was saying, even for the men abroad, they are looking for women that will reduce their intelligence. And I've also seen that firsthand, how someone who has been abroad for years, they still hold on to some traditional mindset that did not allow them to be able to progress in their marriage. Someone says men are incisive. Thank you, which was one of the comments that I made in the video. This was my, just thinking about all of these comments, and what I found, a few others that of course time will not permit me to read, but in summary, what the comments showed me was the fact that a lot of women are actually reducing their intelligence in their marriage because they find that it is just the only way to keep the peace in the marriage. And like one of them said here, says a woman feels cheated. As a woman, you feel cheated when you do so. In other words, they are forced to do this thing that is not convenient, that is not, their real self, almost like, let's just pretend. You know what they say in Yoruba? There's an adage in Yoruba that says, let's give cow an Egyptian title, so that it can allow us to pass. Ẹ jẹ́ ká pe màálù ní brother, so that a máa lè rọ́nà lọ. Those who understand Yoruba, you know what that means. So a lot of women are forced to do things that are not in alignment with their authentic self, and because they feel, and they, of course, based on their experience, that is probably the only way that they can keep their marriage. There are some comments that are, a whole epistle that I can't even bring here. And my question is this. I have two questions. Why are women forced to do that? And secondly, can that also work? Is it really working? Is it a sustainable strategy to say, okay, if I act dumb sometimes, my husband will be happy, and at least we can keep the peace? And I fully understand, from your experience, what that means. But let me tell you something. Two things I'm going to say. First is that it's impossible to enjoy an experience where there is lack of authenticity. It's impossible to enjoy joy peace, and love in the real form when there is lack of authenticity. As much as it keeps the peace, like a lot of people have said, is the peace of a graveyard. Is the peace of a graveyard. It looks peaceful, it looks serene, it sounds silent, like nothing is happening, but right in the mix is a lot of death, is a lot of decay. So, and that's just a fact of life. You can't have, the best of peace and joy without authenticity. So when you are forced to do something that is not in alignment with your authentic self, you are in a struggle. And here's the way out. The reason why a lot of people are forced to walk on eggshell, as it were, in their marriage is simply because the understanding that makes for an authentic connection has not been built. The foundation that makes for an authentic connection has not been built. Just imagine that you got into an office tomorrow and the reception saw you and you greeted the reception. You just walked into an office. The reception welcomed you and all of that. And said, "Oh, I've come to resume as the new MD of this office." This receptionist has never met you before. You has no basis. Nobody has ever told her that, okay, this is the new CEO and all of that. Of course, the receptionist will most likely, if she knows what she's doing, she's going to ask you to sit at that reception and wait for someone else to come and confirm that you are the real new CEO or that you even have a job in this company to start with. Right? That is exactly what is happening. When someone comes up and says, "Oh, this is this person's appointment letter," the HR comes and then brings the person in and introduces the person. And yes, the receptionist then have a foundation for relating with that person as the CEO. In a lot of our marriages, such introduction, that foundation has not been built to say, okay, how are we supposed to work together in this marriage? There are a lot of unspoken conversation in such marriages, and there are a lot of assumed expectations in such marriages. And until we come to the table and, of course, employ the skill employ the skill of experts and people who can guide us, we will continue to work on eggshell. We will continue to have unmet expectations. We'll continue to have unguarded expectations, and we will continue to lower our intelligence so that you can fit in, so that you can enjoy some bit of peace, which, like I said, is the peace of a graveyard. I tell you the truth, women, if you ask, your husband is experiencing exact same thing. There are many things he feels he could have told you, but he doesn't know how to tell you because he also is doing everything to keep the peace of a graveyard. Let's come to the table and do the work. There is a kind of investment that is just required. And if you approach the right coaches and you engage the right material, you can build a solid foundation that allows you to live authentically in that marriage and be your full self, with your intelligence fully being deployed, and you experience the real joy, peace, and love that is possible in marriage. But that will not happen until the foundation for an authentic marriage has been built. In my marriage coaching course, there are 3 pillars of a strong marriage. There are 3 pillars that every strong marriage stands on. And I'm going to give them to you very quickly because all my coaching course is built around it. The first one is healthy spouses. Healthy spouses talks about how both of you needs to be whole and healthy enough to even be in marriage. You cannot coach someone who is working on crutches on how to play football. No. You can't take someone with their crutches to say, "Oh, this is watch me play it. I'm going to train you and you become the best striker." It's not possible. It's not going to happen. Not until the person's leg is healed and the person is healthy enough to even receive the coaching. Some of you've gone through years and years of counseling. They've been telling your husband or your spouse the same thing over and over. Something is lacking fundamentally, psychologically in their being that has not been healed. Maybe past trauma that are showing or past issues that they are struggling with. We must first become whole and healthy before we can go on in marriage. So healthy spouses, that's the first, foundation of every strong marriage. And all of these things are available in my coaching course. The second foundation is what I call a happiness strategy. Can 2 work together except they be agreed? In other words, if one of us agrees to work together, if both of us says we want to work together, what is the basis of the agreement? What is the basis of our agreement? Where is the shared understanding? It's like starting up a company and you are not even clear on what you are trying to produce in the company. You are not even clear to your staff and to your customer on what your vision is for a company. Nobody will work in a company if you got there the day one and they said, oh, we're not even sure what our vision is. We buy and we sell and we buy. If you are buying and selling, if you are selling and buying, you will not work in that kind of company. They've created the foundation for everybody's engagement with clear expectations documented, with vision, goals, even value systems, all incubated, and they create an ecosystem where everyone is clear on what we are trying to achieve, where we are going, and your part in that role. Have you done that in your marriage? Does your marriage have a vision? Do you have values that you've created in your marriage? Do you have policy? All of those there are templates for guiding couples through all of that. And until you have all of that, you will keep having unnecessary, useless arguments that can be killed in just one session. Healthy spouses, and then happiness strategy. The last one, which is a combination of two things, I'm going to explain it. The last one is harmony sustenance. Now we are both healthy. Now we understand our strategy in terms of how we're going to work together. What's our vision? What's our family value? What's our family vision? What are our family policies? And even understanding of each other. When we've done all of that, the next one is how are we going to sustain ourselves in this journey? In every comment they tell you that culture will hit vision, we will hit strategy for launch. That is what the third part is. How are we going to sustain our harmony? Now we created all of this. When the storms come, because the storms will always come, what routines and rituals are we going to engage to ensure that we build the right spirit within the team that is strong enough to withstand any form of opposition and any form of storm or wind that will definitely come? Well, and that talks about the routines and the rituals that we engage as a couple. For instance, there's a simple routine called couples time, or some other people call it open day. It is as simple as anything, but it's one of the most formidable routines that if you practice it in your marriage, trust me, your marriage will be at least maybe 30 or 40 or 50% stronger than it is right now. There are routines that you have to go through. There are rituals that you build into your marriage that just ensures that your marriage remains strong. Part of what we also have in the harmony sustenance is closing the back door of your marriage. Every marriage will come through challenges. So if you leave the front door closed and the back door is open, some challenges can still take you out. How do you close the back door of your marriage? We talk about, for instance, having what we call technical crew. Where are the people that we've deliberately chosen and appointed as coaches for us in this marriage? Marriage did not start today. Marriage has been in existence for as long as humanity has been in existence. So, and of course, there are also a lot of issues in the world, but there are people who have gotten it right. And such people, why can we build on the understanding and the knowledge that they've gathered over the years? Why do we have to go through the same problem that they went through when we can appoint them and have a structured engagement with them to coach us and guide us? And therefore, when we run through the fire and it looks like it's going to burn us, we have a place to run to. That's how to close the back door of your marriage. And that's just one out of a few other things that you need to put in place to close the back door of your marriage. Go for proper coaching. I coach couples all the time. If you want to sit with me one-on-one, I'm available. I have content that I can share with you as well. I have online coaching programs that I can share with you. I have hybrid version where pre-recorded video and some live sessions with me. All of them are affordable. If you are interested in moving past having to lower your intelligence in order to make your husband happy, and everybody is working on eggshell and you're having disappointments and you can't be your authentic self your marriage is your life. How do you do that you wouldn't even be able to be yourself? Don't do that to yourself. Some small investment of time and money will totally change the story for you. I've done it over and over, and I've seen, and it's not only me, I've also seen a lot of competent coaches who have also done that for several people. Don't do it to yourself. Build the foundation for an authentic marriage. Don't be among the people who are having to reduce their intelligence in order to have a happy marriage. I hope this has worked. Reach out to me today. I wish you bliss.